Hey guys, sorry if the color's a bit off. I guess because it's daytime, my camera doesn't love me, but that really shouldn't be a surprise. I actually did a Vidpost last night, and it was so bad, I decided to nix it and be done with it, and try to re-record it today, which is kind of a good thing because there's been a couple of updates. So everybody knows my life is dried paint. I mean, it is watching paint dry. It is that dull. At the same time, there's like lots of little shit that happens that I always feel just necessary to deluge you with. So for right now, I want to go ahead and say thank you to T for giving the assistance, sweetie. You do have that psychic thing going on there, which, you know, bless you always and forever. Ms. M, I did get your Valentine's Day card, and I got the little extra insert from the wee one, and it was just as adorable as she is. So I wanted to say thank you for that. Things have been kind of clicking along here. We wanted to file our taxes a couple of weeks ago, but we had one W-2 that was just still floating around out there that we couldn't get a hold of, and it was for the first job that either of us landed when we were here in Washington. It was my husband's job with Denny's. Now, as I'm sure I told you at the time, that one, when it ended, was just so much fun. And he walked in, he did his shift. Now, we figured that with, you know, COVID just hitting and everything, because this was, you know, right at the beginning of March, we kind of figured that something would happen and that he'd be told, you know, we're letting people go, we don't need anybody anymore. And he did get told this, but it was the way it was done. The guy waited until, like, the last minute of his shift and then just told him in the snottiest way possible. So here it is. It was like the 5th of February, and we called and we were like, we still haven't received this. We just wanted to give you a heads up and see when you guys mailed it. And they said, oh, we mailed it a couple of days ago, so you should have gotten it by now. Now, never mind, we never got a chance to update our address with them. That was when we still had the P.O. box. Now, the P.O. box will forward things, but it's kind of erratic. So we kept that in mind, and we're like, okay, we'll give it a little bit of time, you know. But towards the 10th, we were like, okay, this is a little bit much. This is not kosher. So we decided to go ahead and let these guys know we still hadn't received it. The gentleman then proceeded to inform my husband that he sent it out personally. And my husband's like, that's great. We'll let you know by Wednesday if we've received it. If we have not received it by Wednesday, we will be coming to get it. So yesterday, my husband called on Wednesday and let him know, yeah, we still hadn't received this. So yesterday, my husband had to drive to Tacoma, which is an hour away, to pick it up. Now, he let the guy know that he was coming before noon, as my husband starts work around 2:30, so he usually, you know, he kind of wanted to be home right around 1:30 so he could get ready for work. But he showed up at, like, you know, 11 o'clock, and these guys were not prepared at all. Now, he had gotten the paperwork, but he made sure that he was in a meeting. So he sent one of his lackeys out after like 10-15 minutes of my husband waiting. And they handed over the paperwork. But it was just so funny because it was the exact same guy who basically told my husband, we don't need you anymore, go fuck off. So yeah, that was amusing, especially as he was interviewing somebody, I think, for the position that my husband used to work. So there's that. Things got a little bit interesting for me. So about a week and a half ago, I got a call from the temp agency my husband works for, by the way, which is one of the best temp agencies we have come across. Express Employment's pretty good, depending on what state you're in. But this is West Sound Workforce. They are a fantastic company. They're just willing to work with you. They are willing to hear you out. They're willing to do whatever it takes to help you be the best that you can be. So these are really great guys, and I've been in contact with them for the last couple of months, but with the holidays upcoming, everything like that, it just, yeah, there was no work really available. And with COVID, yeah, work is, scarce on the ground. And as you know, I'm over here having nervous breakdowns over the car, which, yes, went all the way to Tacoma and back. And I'm having nervous breakdowns over rent, which we now owe 4 months, and by the time March rolls around, it will be 5. So that'll be fun and interesting. Keep your fingers crossed. So I did get information from West Sound going, well, there's this job, but it's not quite what you want to make, but it is $15 an hour, and it will be, pre-screening and things like that at the hospital where my husband works. I'd be making $5 less than him, but it'd be something. I mean, he's definitely been keeping us afloat, but it hasn't been enough to pay rent. And like I said, at this point, it's just me wanting to pay rent. So I was supposed to have my my drug test last week, but because of the snow that was coming, they were like, well, I don't know. And I was like, we'll just go ahead and we'll set it for next week. Well, I'd set it for Tuesday, but Tuesday, I guess the area that I was heading to was still impacted by all the snow that had hit here, because, yeah, we got hit last weekend. Of course, to us, it's nothing. I mean, we come from an eastern state. We're kind of used to snowfall. But here, it's really, really hilly. They're not used to a lot of snow. They're used to some of it, but not a whole lot, not like what we got. So we're over here giggling. We've got our supplies. We've got everything we need, and we didn't move all weekend. We just knew better. But yeah, the few times we had to go, because we had to go somewhere on Sunday, it was like, we know how to drive in this stuff. You guys definitely don't. So for us, since we're used to it, it's not a big deal. The only thing that makes us nervous is other people out on the road, because it's obvious they don't know how to handle anywhere between 8 inches to a foot of snow, which I know to a lot of you guys in the upper Northeast, you're like, a foot of snow, whatever. But here in Washington State, it's actually, depending on where you're located, it's a pretty big deal. So they had to postpone my Tuesday drug test, but I managed to get that done today. And what's so funny is, as I was heading in, they told me, yeah, by the way, that flu shot waiver that you signed. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, well, now they want you to have a flu shot. So I went and I did my drug test, went to Walmart. Guess who doesn't have flu shots? Right. Guess who's not getting any more in because flu season is ending? Right. So I called the health department for this area, and I let them know about the issue. And they were like, well, here's a couple places you can try. One of them being, the local Kroger / Fred Meyer that we're used to going to, because it's still our store. And I called them up, and guess who else doesn't have flu shots and won't be getting any more because it's the end of the flu season. Right. So it's going to make it difficult to start working, but I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get that all worked out, especially once these guys realize there is no more flu shots out there because flu season has ended. So it may be another week or two, but I'll definitely be working. But this is the most hilarious part. So I'm getting all of this rolling, and on Wednesday, I get a phone call from Express Employment. Now, the Express Employment located in this specific area isn't the best. My husband had a couple of jobs through them, but they're like jobs that it's supposed to be a week or two, but 3 days after that, his job's completed, and he no longer has a job. One of those kinds of deals. But before he signed on to West Sound, he did like 4 or 5 jobs for Express Employment. It was kind of crazy. Well, I filled out paperwork for them mid-December. When I went in, I was kind of ticked off because I had signed up to be one of their recruiters. And from the way they were behaving, well, come in, sign in paper, sign paperwork, yada, yada, yada. I told my husband, like, you just watch. I'm going to walk in, they're going to get everything filled out. Then they're going to tell me, oh, yeah, we have no intention of giving you this job. It's pretty much the way it was. I mean, they kind of lured me in. Oh, we'll let you know what's going on when you get here. Filled out the paperwork. Second I filled out the paperwork, yeah, we'll call you. But not within the next couple of weeks because it's the holidays. So after the holidays, we'll call you. I'm like, okay, yeah. All right. So I get a phone call from them on Wednesday. I guess it's their main recruiter. And she was like, oh, we never activated you in the system. I see you filled out paperwork in December. And I'm like, yeah. I kind of figured something like this happened. And she was like, what? And I was like, well, you guys put out a call for this job. I knew I wasn't going to get it before I even walked in the door, even though that's how you guys brought me in to fill in paperwork. So I filled out the paperwork, got told, yeah, that's, we're not giving you that job. And we're not going to call you for a couple of weeks. I'm like, but it's been a couple of months, so I kind of figured that's what happened. So I wasn't overly holding my breath. She was like, I'm pretty sure you could have used the work. I'm like, oh, yeah. And she was like, so are you looking for a job now? And I'm like, I've got a couple in the pipeline. But, yeah, feel free to call me. Because why not? So literally 2.5, almost 3 months after I filled out paperwork with them, now I'm active in their lists. And they still haven't called me, and I'm pretty sure they won't. No matter how skilled I am. To boot, to top it all off, on Thursday, after my husband gets back from Tacoma, and I've got all the paperwork, and I'm like, yay, now I can file taxes, which I didn't do until today, because that's how genius I am. I get a message from the naval security commander. And remember, this was the one where I drove down, and here I am with my car, my expired tags, and I'm surrounded by base police. So I'm loving every second of that. It turns out that I passed everything that I was supposed to. So he asked for references. And, yeah, sorry, my phone does that on occasion. He asked for references. And he said that HR would be contacting you in the next week or two. So now I'm just spoiled with jobs. Now, this is something that when I went to go to West Sound Workforce, I let them know, oh, yeah, by the way, this is in the works. And they were like, oh, hey, cool. The lady that I'm speaking to, her husband's Navy, she was like, just keep us in the loop. She was like, this job that we're sending you on, it is temporary. So that's fine. Yeah, just let us know what's going on. So that was kind of cool. And now I just got to make sure that I can pass that so I can get the naval job. So keep your fingers crossed on that. I finally did get my taxes filed. Like I said, car comes first and then comes rent. Hopefully it will save our asses all the way around. Like I said, I'm only going to be able to cover 2.5, 3 months worth of rent, maybe, tops. But I just, when the stimulus check comes in, I may be able to cover the rest of it. And then, of course, by that time, I'll be working, which will have me breathing even easier than that. So just keep your fingers crossed because, I'm super sweating it. I mean, we have been so lucky. We have a landlord that has just let us slide. And it's, they don't want us to get in over our heads, but at the same time, they've let it go. They've let it slide, and have let us do what we need to do to try to get by, which is super cool of them, and it has been oh so helpful, and we are ever so grateful. So that is definitely, we'd like to pay them back. Right now, we owe them $6,000. By the time March rolls around, it'll be another $1,500. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting that paid off. Just fingers crossed on this, guys. I would really like to get caught up sooner rather than later. Either way, as it stands, I still have not fixed anything, though if you have been watching Dreamwidth, and you are part of Fic Rush, you'll probably have seen me going by. It's been about 2 years, but after 2 years, here I am at VicRush again, modding posts and doing all that fun stuff. So that's been great fun. I love it. I received a wonderful warm welcome when I signed up for the hour tables and put in what hours I can do. I received an extremely warm welcome there. It was super nice. It was super nice to be greeted like that again. But you've probably seen my posts there if you follow them at all. I still do need to transfer my weird crossover fiction. There's probably going to be more characters from a wide variety of fandoms going to be added to that. I still just need to find a reason why everybody is there to begin with. But I'll probably be posting that to AO3 soon. And I have a plethora of comments to catch up on. So far, I have about maybe 60 posts of fanfic secrets, or fandom secrets to catch up on, which I know is super weird because who cares about that. I have one more person, just one, that I seriously hardcore need to catch up with, and I'm going to go ahead and let you know now. Hamster Woman, you are the person that I am catching up with. I was trying to do for you what I was doing for everybody else, and leave little anecdotes for each post that I was reading. But honey, you crammed so much into each post that I'd find all kinds of things before I knew it. I was like 20,000 characters and beyond. So it won't allow me to leave a PM the way I did for everybody else. But I will definitely let you know when I'm completely caught up. And then I will be answering each post from then on in. But I do apologize that I will not be leaving a detailed PM for you like I have for everybody else. But you are the last person that I need to be 100% caught up on. And aside from that, it's just comments and things like that, guys. And the PMs that you all answered me back with. And then I'm back on. You will see me full time again. I will be answering posts and comments and commenting on everybody else's posts like I used to be back in the day. I will also hopefully be working on fiction, and hopefully once more here within the next week or two we'll be working and worrying less. So yeah, keep your fingers crossed. It has, like I said, my life is normally like watching paint dry. But it is amazing all the hectic crap that you can cram in between. What I've been doing to distract myself from, waffling between anxious, depressed, and manic is I caught up with The Witcher. By the way, T, I love you completely, and I hate you now because now I am hooked on The Witcher. Something I told myself I would never be hooked on. But it's probably for all the wrong reasons, but I absolutely love that show. For some reason, I decided to watch The Magicians. Not because anybody prompted me to, but I'd seen posts on it from people here and there. And I love this show just because whoever wrote it is definitely a fandom person. Just from the way they do the show. It's jumped the shark so many damn times. It is so over the top and ridiculous, yet at the same time, it has some of the most serious storylines. I don't care about a lot of the, sexy time shenanigans, but you know me, I usually don't, guys. But it's the little thing. I love all the characters I normally would not love. Okay, let's just put it this way. The main character that we are following is not one of my top. I mean, I love him, but he's not my top one. He just isn't. So I just, yeah. I still have not seen the last 2 episodes because I'm afraid to, because then that means the show's ended and it's done, and I'm not very happy with that idea. I've also I do plan to write that Prodigal Son fic. I'll post it someday. It all really depends. Like I said, my big priority now is just getting caught up with you guys and making sure that I have all my ducks in a row on that. But yeah, cramming things that normally I would not cram and trying to distract myself with things that have utterly no meaning. Netflix and Hulu have definitely been a lifeline. Thanks again to T for that. Always hooking us up, sweetie. Always. Just keep your fingers crossed that that we can get our car taken care of and that we can get the rent taken care of. Toot sweet, because that would help me breathe easier again. Just keep your fingers crossed for us all the way around, guys. We definitely need the break at this point. We definitely need the break. We just need to get caught up, and then we need to stay caught up, and if at all possible, just freaking get ahead. That's what we're looking forward to. We just want to get ahead at this point. But I wanted to go ahead and lay it on you, let you all know what's going on over here, so that way you can't say I didn't. You all will probably be getting spammed with answering comments and answering messages here soon. And Hamster Woman, keep an eye out for that PM from me, and then I will be 100% caught up. Like I said, the only other person that I can think of that I seriously hardcore need to be caught up with that I wasn't able to do so is you, Dave. I do apologize, honey. It just would not let me go past a certain point. So if there's been anything like majorly groundbreaking or anything you feel I just need to know, please do let me know, because I don't like missing out on anybody's life. But until then, I will try to post regularly. You should see me pop up more frequently now. I'm thinking about snagging a meme from Scripsy that she was doing, because why not? It'll force me to post and give me an excuse to post and actually type instead of boring you all with my face. So I will be catching up with you all soon. You should see something from me soon. Hopefully I'll have a job. I will keep you updated on that. I will let you all know what's going on. I mean, keep your fingers crossed for the stimulus and for those tax refunds, guys, because it just could not come faster. Trust me, it just couldn't come faster for us. But until then, take good care of yourselves. Take good care of each other. Know that I love you guys so dearly. And I will see you all soon.